hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.
523 runs and 38 sixes. Wednesday was, well, just wow. If Thursday can throw anything half as special, we're in for something quite fun. Match number 9 of IPL 2024 is Rajasthan Royals against Delhi Capitals on Maruti Suzuki Arena, presents ESPN Cricket 4 Timeout. It's good evening to Tom Moody, who is joined by Wasim Jaffer, who moves one seat to the left as we give Mitch McClenaghan a rest. And the most significant move to the left, Raunak Kapoor, not here this time for a change. This has to be a first in Cricket 4 live broadcast.
I know, it is. It is. I think we need to show them how this is done.
Oh, did you win a competition or something to get into that seat?
I'm going one position to the left. By week 4, I'll be there, and after that, I'll just
You'll be out the door.
We've just placed him closer to you. It's easier for you to hurl the mug in that direction.
See, I'm here to provoke, right? I sense that position that Yash is occupying now has so much responsibility that comes with it. I can't tell you the weight on my shoulders every time. It's like being captain, Tom, which I have no experience of, but I can imagine that being captain is not easy, and I'm happy to let leadership go and be the Rohit Sharma of this panel today and play freely.
Oh, well, no pressure to me then. This is also when I get to inform you guys formally that all these fun and games we are having this time in this rebranded ESPN Cricket 4 Timeout, the governing council is in front of you. I keep the points, tend to make some of the questions at times, so I believe you've had a few discrepancies with the points table.
Yeah, he's making it very intimidating. Even I didn't know that it was only Yash as the sole adjudicator.
It's like Judge Judy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm almost missing Mitch here because he's tended to have a lot of issues with the scoring system.
He's not very good at the game. So
he's having a day off to practice.
yeah.
Yes,
Wasim, I must point out, Wasim has brought the notebook as well. Sorry, sir, I didn't want to.
I've done the homework.
upping the stakes as he looks to catch up with you. We will get into the chat, toss and team news soon. We know that Delhi have won the toss and they will bowl first, which means Rajasthan get to bat first for the second game running in Jaipur. But before we get there, still a bit of a hangover from last night. So since I love the quizzes, I'm throwing in one question to wrap last night. There were 2 players who featured last evening who had also featured in the previous record game when RCB had made 263, which was in 2013 against Pune Warriors India. Those are your clues. Who are these 2 players?
I knew Nutcut.
That's one name, correct. There's a second.
So same player yesterday.
Wow, Wasim Jaffer off to a flyer. That's sensational.
Well done, mate. Happy for you.
I didn't know you could just answer without like putting your hand up and all. I forgot that I knew the answer. I knew Nutcut.
It's okay.
Nothing was coming from my right or left.
You went first. You get the point. Well done, Wasim Jaffer. Off the mark for today. And in that game, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, then very young, bowled 4 overs and gave just 23 runs, while his team conceded 263. And that's death bowling is where we want to begin today. For Rajasthan in their opening game, which could have gone down the wire against Lucknow, where they were defending 194, Sandeep Sharma played such a key role. 3 overs he bowled were just for 22 runs. Tom, he's almost had a second coming in this stint at Rajasthan Royals. He's not a bowler a lot of us thought was a death overs bowler, and yet in the last 2 seasons, he's been their go-to guy at the death. What explains that transformation?
Well, I think he's got a very open mind to it, constantly evolving as a cricketer. We've got to remember that he was not picked up in the auction at all. So he's come into that Rajasthan outfit as a replacement player. So he's come from being, I suppose, having the setback of being left out, given his record as well, which is quite interesting because he's got a very, very good record, both with new ball and he's starting to develop it, as a very good old ball bowler or death bowler. The thing with Sandeep Sharma is that he's a hard-working person and he's very precise with the way he trains. So he knows now that, and he would have known leading into this IPL because it would have been communicated to him by Kumar Sangakkara, we need you to take more responsibility at the end because we've got our new ball bowlers locked away, particularly since they picked up Berger in the auction as well. So he would have worked his heart out on those skills. He's got the good slower ball, but he's now perfecting that Yorker even more so.
Yeah, and I think what the thing about Sandeep Sharma as an analyst would normally tell you at an auction table, if we're picking him, we're going to use him as a new ball bowler. And I think that's one of the reasons why he didn't find the appeal at the auction, where he didn't get picked up. And I think he was quite hurt by it also.
Yeah.
There was a lot of emotion that came through.
100%. He's the most underrated bowler in the history of IPL. If you look at his numbers and stack them up against all the top bowlers, he stands amongst them.
Yeah. He's also got a great record against good batters. Rohit Sharma, I think he's got a
and
terrific
Virat
record. Kohli as well. The slightly slow swingy bowlers, which is what Rohit has said often, is the most annoying for him to play. But I don't know, Tom, if the jury is still out on whether Sandeep can be a consistently good death bowler. You can trust Rajasthan to do something other than what was seen tactically in the past.
There's very few that can be seen as consistent at the death. I think you can name them probably on one hand. You know, Bumrah's one of them. Maybe Mitchell Stark's another one. Malinga, he's now in the dugout, not bowling anymore. So there's not many.
Bhuvi used to be,
Yeah.
His role in this setup, Wasim, gets more pronounced given that when you look at the makeup of the rest of the pacers, I know they've got Avesh Khan this season, they'll hope he can do a job, but Trent Bolt, not known for his death bowling, and the numbers will show you that since last season, he is carrying the weight of that Rajasthan side in the death overs.
I think he's taken that role really well. How he bowled last season, if you remember that MS Dhoni game where he didn't let him hit that big over or last ball for that 6. I think he's always been a good bowler, especially in the domestic circuit, but he was used more as a new ball bowler because he used to swing the ball, and the captains used to use him nicely, having that keeper up with square leg and long on back, and he didn't used to give a lot of room. But now he's developed those wide Yorkers, the knuckle ball, the slower bouncer, and he's very confident guy, and I think he's got that confidence from the franchise, from the captain to do that job. So I think he's doing that really nicely.
Also tends to be a well-liked figure in his team, which was something that was reflected in the post-match comments when our Ashwin came out to speak after Rajasthan's win against Lucknow. That is what we're featuring in our next segment. So here's what Ashwin had to say after Sandeep bowled those 3 overs, giving just 22 runs, saying the game is built around perception and Sandeep is a bit of an unsung hero. He stepped in for Prasidh Krishna last year and does the dirty work for us. The figures might not always be attractive, but he's a fighter. In the T20 game, a bowler with fight is a lot more valuable than a bowler with a lot of skill. That highlighted part, Tom, is what we want to focus on. Why does Ashwin say that about Sandeep?
I think fight, in the interpretation I'm seeing the word fight, is mental toughness. You know, bowling at the death is the hardest role to play, and you need to be resilient. You need to have that mental toughness because, you know, you're not going to get it absolutely right every time. You're not going to get every single ball right in that set of 6 balls. And it's how you respond to being hit out of the ground once or twice. It's how you respond to the next ball. You know, you quite often as a coach will talk to your death bowlers about focus on the next ball. What's happened has happened. Let's forget about the fact you've been hit for a 6 and a 4. It's your next ball that counts because that is the delivery that you have control over, and you can shift the momentum back to your favour.
Yeah, I mean, you said that. Sorry, please, Wasim.
And I feel being a Sandeep Sharma, he's up against Andre Russell, MS Dhoni for that matter. So he's the one who's got less experience. So he's someone, you feel that he'll be under pressure, but he somehow has that knack of, getting better.
I mean, you know the man. You worked with him, haven't you? You often hear spin bowlers say spin bowling is an attitude in 2020 cricket. Death bowling, I think, is also an attitude now. He's had ups and downs, Sandeep Sharma. There was that epic game with the no ball of the last ball against Abdul Samad.
Samad hit the 6.
And you thought he'd won the game, and he did that in the game. Wasim points out against MS Dhoni. Sometimes it's okay to go for 15 as long as you bowl that one ball that decides the result. Sandeep Sharma seems the kind of player who captain will throw the ball to and see on his face he's not actually worried about bowling it. He might not do the job, and that doesn't again feature in your analytics. He'll still be at an economy of 10 plus, which is what we saw. And I'm sure a lot of people will advise those at an auction table, nah, it doesn't work. You have these bowlers like Bolt and Berger who are better with the new ball. We don't need Sandeep Sharma. And you could find that story with every other franchise. But soon, I think, especially with the 10 teams, with the talent, shall I say, dare I say, diluted a little, maybe players like Sandeep Sharma have a greater shelf life. We also shouldn't forget he's only 31.
And don't forget, I remember he worked as a scout for Punjab Kings when he didn't got picked.
Sandeep,
Sandeep
that's
was
fascinating.
Actually, because he was not picked for the Punjab Ranji team or the T20 franchise, Mushtaq Ali team, and then Punjab got him as a scout, and then he was picked as a replacement player. So that's a story as well.
It's remarkable that he wasn't making his domestic team as well.
Yeah.
He's regularly making an IPL 11
he still
here.
doesn't play for Punjab. So
The other thing with bowling at the death is that, you know, from a coach's perspective and a captain's perspective, you know who's interested in bowling at the end. You know, when it's all happening, like we saw in Hyderabad last night, balls going everywhere. You have bowlers that are looking up and you have bowlers that are looking down. The bowlers looking up are like your Sandeep Sharmas. They're prepared for the call, the captain to say, you're on next end. You know, and then you have other bowlers that are thinking, wow, it's all happening here. I'd rather not bowl at that end because it's a short side on the leg side or whatever the case may be. Sandeep, always up for it.
I'm just thinking, sir, you're saying he was a scout when he wasn't picked by any IPL team for Punjab Kings. You didn't think you needed him as a
that
bowler?
wasn't my call.
Batting coach Wasim Jaffer took care of.
He needed to be the scout for Punjab, as in the IPL side. He could pick himself and pick a few of his mates.
Yeah.
Right, let's confirm team news. Rajasthan, we'd wondered what they'll do if they had to bowl first. They don't have to deal with that issue yet. They will bat first, and they are retaining the mix that they went in their opening game, where they went with the combination of 6 batters and 5 out-and-out bowlers. Last time around, Andre Berger was impacted in, and they do have the option of Rovman Powell should they face a batting collapse. Now, before we move on to Delhi, which we'll come into in a bit, can confirm Andrik Nortje is back. But since we were on the concept of unsung heroes, it is quiz time. We will move to some unsung heroes from the IPL. These are all players who I'm hoping some of you will know. You are not featuring on the fair play points table for sure. Well done. So we'll get straight to it. You will see a few scorecards soon on your screen. And let's get the first one up.
I hope you were following that I'm helping them, giving them hints. And
Absolutely, I will.
Okay,
So-
this is 20.
So this is Chennai versus Mumbai, the 2012 eliminator. Chennai's
Badrinath.
batting card.
It's a Badrinath.
Okay, Wasim Jaffer is
On
flying
form.
out today. I don't even
What
know
is
if I
going
can
on?
give you all a chance because Wasim is giving his answers. Tom,
I think
that is
I've raised
correct
Wasim's stakes here.
I know it's but he's sort of jumped the gun, and you know it's nearly bowling a no
Too
ball.
late. Too late.
That's a no ball, and it's a free hit to me.
Umpire's not called play.
It took long to reach 6.6.
Wasim, I must say, I think
Wow.
really genuinely you feel threatened with my presence here. I've never seen you this
Inspired by you.
inspired by your presence, threatened by the points table as it stands. He's catching up with you, Tom Moody. Let's hope you get player number 2 because that's confirming that that S. Badrinath was in fact the first unsung hero we looked at. He was part of CSK from 2008 to 2013. In those 6 seasons, they made 5 finals. He featured in pretty much every game they played through that cycle. So S. Badrinath is unsung hero number 1. Number 2, let's have the scorecard up, shall we? This comes from 2014. Now, this one is clearly a bowler. I will add to your hints that this is a hat-trick, which is also a hat-trick which was taken in 2 balls because the first wicket was a stumping of a wide ball.
Oh, 2014.
Does that jog your memory? This is 2014 Rajasthan Royals. I will give you 5 seconds before I throw my next hint.
Oh my God. We should know IPL hat-tricks, man. 14. Watson.
You know the theme. You know this is a hat-trick in 2014. I will add the next clue. This player
Mishra?
made his IPL debut. So Wasim has got one wrong today
Okay.
finally. This player made his IPL debut at the young age of 41.
Tambe.
Tambe.
Praveen Tambe, Raunak Kapoor is
Thank
off
you.
the mark. We'll see if we can add to the table.
Yeah.
That's your first point. Congratulations on that.
I'm
Praveen
very
Tambe,
glad.
41 years when he made a splash in the IPL for the first time. Went on to play the CPL a few years later when he was almost touching 50.
There's a good film on him also, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know
solid.
if I'm allowed to promote that. I'm not sure what platform it's on.
I
But it's still a good film.
memory serves me right. We're safe.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
Thank you.
Into number 3 on the list. And Tom, I'm really hoping you get off the mark with this one because this is a game you definitely remember. This comes from the 2016 final where Sunrisers Hyderabad won, but we are looking at the Bangalore bowling card. While Sunrisers waltzed their way to 208 in a high-scoring final, there was one bowler who bowled 4 overs, giving away 30 runs.
New Zealander.
That's a strike. That's not right, Wasim Jaffer. So I'll give Tom the next go.
So this is the Bangalore bowling card. Who opened the bowling for them?
Yeah, I'm just
This
trying
is
to
someone
think.
who played for RCB from 2011 to 2017, never played for any other side in the IPL. He was instrumental to them reaching the final in 2011 and then also came back
Is it
in 2016.
Vinay Kumar?
No, it is not.
It's an unsung hero.
It is an unsung hero.
You're saying Praveen Kumar.
It is no, it's not.
I was just saying Wasim's thoughts, so I'm just echoing them. That's not my answer.
Come on, Tom. I'm waiting for your answer.
Oh, I've got no
My next
idea.
clue is this is an Indian, at that point uncapped, left-arm seamer.
Left arm seamer.
Left arm seamer.
Arvind. No, not Arvind.
Arvind.
S. Arvind.
Arvind.
Oh, yes.
Raunak Kapoor. Srinath Arvind, who was instrumental, not a lot of people tend to remember, but RCB's first 2 finals in the IPL. 2011, he took 21 wickets for them, was their leading wicket taker. And
Well done, man. This is like unsung ka unsung also. I would not have thought of that.
We promote whoever we can.
I'm
so
good at
Srinath
this
Arvind,
one, aren't I? The unsung heroes.
Yes.
Sort of come out of the blocks flying.
As always, you're just focused on the superstars in a team. You know, typical.
Yeah, I mean, your favorite part is coming later when you pick your players, and there is another quiz a little later. But before that, we
can't
will
wait.
bring you Delhi team news. And Delhi, who have been waiting on Anrik Nokia to link up with them. They have Anrik Nokia featuring, they have Mukesh Kumar featuring, who could not play last time since they had impacted in Abhishek Porel in the first innings. Those are the sizable changes. Ishant Sharma, of course, was injured in game 1. He doesn't make it back, and Nokia replaces in the overseas contingent Shea Hope, who Rishabh Pant says at the toss had an issue with his back. It's like the Indian team. No one ever gets dropped. It's always injury.
Nah, but I think on first look, Isha with Ishan gone, that definitely looks like Delhi's best bowling lineup. If we just put that up one more time.
Yeah, it does look stronger, doesn't it? Well, for a start, having someone that bowls 150 helps.
Yeah. Assuming he is at his best, I mean, that's the other thing. Anrik Nokia is at such a long time away. You've now got, and they still have Ricky Bhui in the 11, not Abhishek Porel, but just sticking with the Anrik Nokia point, no, tough one, right, Tom? Because you need to have Nokia literally be the Nokia that we remember.
Yeah, and you can guarantee South African cricket wouldn't have released him if he's not absolutely flying. And he's had quite a period of time to, recover from it was back, wasn't it? He had some back issues.
Yeah.
I did see a clip of him bowling in warm-ups and didn't look like he slowed down too much. So, yeah, I think it's a great inclusion for them because he'll offer that impact, in the power play and he'll, secure the death a little bit for them.
Yeah, he's not centrally contracted now, Anrik Nokia.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah,
very interesting.
So
news.
this might actually be an important IPL for him personally, among other things. And the 2 bouncer rule, there aren't too many overseas bowlers who bowl at that pace. And
Yeah, he might have had a smile when he saw that come through.
yeah.
Yeah, he's missed a fair few games. He was so instrumental to Delhi doing well in 2020 and 21, but had his issues with injuries. And just you look at Delhi in terms of the rebuild in this auction cycle. He was among the players retained. Pant and Aksar and Shaw, along with Nokia, were the players retained. Now we're going to bring up how Delhi have fared in the league over the last few years. And yes, last year was a bit of a blowout. It almost finished bottom of the table. They had started becoming incredibly consistent. 3 consecutive playoff finishes, their first IPL final in 2020. And 2022, you must remember, is a season where they were within 1 DRS of actually making the playoffs, where Rishabh Pant did not review a Tim David nick of Shardul Thakur, and Mumbai won that game, and as a result, Delhi didn't make it to the top 4. But when you look at this squad, there's an element of bad luck, you could say. You look at those retained players, Rishabh Pant missing last season, Anrik Nokia missing last season. But when you look at Delhi's squad, Tom, does it feel as complete a squad as you would expect it to be?
Firstly, every squad's got a story. every squad's got either injuries or whatever the case may be. There's always withdrawals or whatever it might be. But looking at that squad, I think there's quite a few holes you could shoot through that, which does surprise me. And one of the things, as much as I am excited about young Fraser McGurk, I was really surprised that he replaced Ngini, a fast bowler, particularly when you're a little bit unsure about Nokia, his comeback, how's he going to come back, are you going to need the depth in your bowling stocks to be able to cover for that? But to me, there's a few issues there. And one of the things you also need to look at is the Indian talent. And they haven't had the return from Prithvi Shaw that they would have liked. He is a top line player potentially, but he hasn't risen to that potential.
Yeah, I mean, you look at all the squads who had to retain 4 players ahead of the big auction, and in those 4 players, the ones that have been able to at least field those 4 players regularly, forget injuries. Like Tom says, everyone has a story on injuries, but very few players who were retained have lost their place in the team, which also tells you it was an investment that hasn't paid off. And Prithvi Shaw remains out of the team today.
And he's not in the
impact sub
list also.
Assuming he is at least fit for selection, which we don't know. I mean, this continues to be a story. To start your season with Prithvi Shaw was on good money as well with them. At some point, this will be a discussion, and we can almost assume that Prithvi Shaw is going to find his way to an auction next year.
Well, Saurav Ganguly did make the point, and he would have made the point if he was injured, but he made the point that they've gone with Ricky Boye because of his middle order, skills.
Abilities,
against Prithvi Shaw. Otherwise, he would have said that, look, unfortunately, he's not fit at the moment. Hopefully, we'll get him game 3 or 4.
Yeah, but today they don't have Shai Hope, and Ricky Boo is slotted to bat at 3.
3, yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking.
He's not
if
selected.
Shaw was, open, Mitchell Marsh comes at number 3, makes the batting looks much stronger.
Yeah, so, I mean, even if you add a batter to that, which we will see when they chase later on, even if it's Porel, Porel also is a middle to lower middle order. I don't know if they're thinking that Rishabh Pant will bat a position higher, which he has done in the past.
The other thing you've got to consider is that Delhi have had 2 poor years.
Yeah.
So, maybe they've moved on from Prithvi Shaw thinking we've got to do something different because what we've been doing the last 2 years hasn't worked. So maybe they're just totally having a reset.
Why not send him to the auction?
Exactly.
Would you have?
Or try to trade him. Try to, and maybe they tried to do that. Maybe they knocked on a few doors and looked at a trade opportunity.
Yeah, they did, but I think
they did.
Yeah,
they knocked on your door.
Yeah,
no one home.
Too expensive.
Oh,
so what was his price?
8. I think he's a little over 8. I'll just check that.
That's the issue.
Prithvi Shaw is 7.5 crore.
Yeah.
So that's a decent amount of money.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think if he would have gone into the auction, I think he would have still got a serious amount of money because there's still the...
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so there's still the appetite for Prithvi Shaw. I think all of us want him to do well. And he obviously has a point to prove. He goes and gets runs in England. And then he comes to the IPL. We all wanted this to be a season that Prithvi and Pant both fire.
You know what will happen? He'll go to Chennai next year and he'll have a record-breaking year. Because that's what happens to a lot of players, don't they? They don't quite get the traction at a certain franchise. Go to Chennai, they're fine.
Yeah, but in 2020 when they rebuilt the side, I thought, they changed their auction policy quite a lot. They had a lot of Indian players like Shikhar Dhawan, Shreyas Iyer came in.
Yeah.
He was the captain, Rishabh Pant, Akshar Patel. And I thought after that, the players they've released, it's a different strategy altogether now. You don't see that Indian bunch of players
What is
anymore.
the strategy?
I mean, the kind of players they have. I mean, Ricky Bhui for that matter, Yash Dhul. They're not winning you games. I mean,
that's the problem. It's hard to understand what their strategy is. You can look at a lot of teams. You can see how they're trying to win games by the balance of their squad or the playing 11s.
This is the first time though that they've had their major Indian players all fit and available. They've not selected Prithvi Shaw as another thing. But we're expecting Pant, even though we are going to be patient with how quickly he returns. So a lot of decisions on Delhi's future will be taken at the end of this season. But I think Wasim was telling me that day that they're still dangerous. Because you need Warner and Marsh to tee off. With Nokia coming in, it's not the team. You get the feeling that it's the kind of team at the start of the season no one wants to drop points again. But they're still a capable enough team for making life hard. Whether they have enough to go all the way and make the playoffs is a different
If you have
story.
a bad day, they'll win comfortably, because they've got some match winners there.
Quick assessments on how you see the first innings playing out. Rajasthan batting against that Delhi bowling lineup.
Well, Rajasthan's got a very strong batting lineup, and particularly the form that Jaswal's in and Butler actually looked like he was just starting to find his feet again. Sanju Samson had a great first outing with an 80. So they'll be welcoming the opportunity to bat first and do what they did in the first game. So they've nearly been invited to not only structure their team the same way, but to go in with the same sort of game plan.
Just on that point though of them winning the toss and actually bowling first, does that surprise you all?
Yeah.
You thought they might want to bat first. Rajasthan like batting first. And
Rajasthan have won quite a few games batting first, and they can use their sixth bowler as an impact sub also. So it plays in their favour a little bit.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's also a result of Delhi having a poor outing with the bat in the last game. They had to use Abhishek Porel, and maybe it's a batting team that's a little shy on confidence after one game.
And the other thing, in Jaipur, the surface can be a little bit tricky sort of in that second innings, unless there's going to be heavy dew. It can be a little bit tricky because the ball can keep a little bit lower.
Okay, all right. Almost set for the start of the game, which means it's time to
I'm
head
waiting for this.
straight into the impact zone. Right. All of you know the drill quite well. I'm sure you know it
I
very well.
am so excited about this. I'm
having
going to play
explained
some
it.
mind games
So,
now with Wasim
how-
and
I'm throwing
Tom.
it open. How do we let him pick first, since this is the first time?
I just want to say one thing. No. I dare both of you. I dare you all. Right? If you have the courage in your heart not to pick Butler, Jaiswal.
You know what,
And-
Raunak? I reckon you just concentrate on who you're going to pick. Let's start with that.
I
And you
dare
can go
you not
first,
to.
because if you don't go first,
Yeah,
we'll hear about it
yeah.
all night.
No.
You're first.
I'm first.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
He's going to be mixed.
So your batter, Raunak.
All right. Sanju Samson, because I've seen it. The first two games he's unbelievable. Then I'll stop picking him.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm picking Samson.
So Wasim, you're next. Your batter.
I'll go with Yashasvi again.
Yes,
I
Ashwin
dared
again.
you and you didn't take it.
And
Very bad.
Tom.
Wasim.
I'm going to go for Mitchell Marsh.
Mitch Marsh is the batter. Okay, that's
Well, he's not a batter?
no. I mean that's
Thanks.
a good. I'm not judging your pick. The points will judge. I
I'm so
don't.
happy. See how hard that was chair is with this man, this intimidating, abnormally sized man just saying
We
all
go
these
to the
things.
bowlers now. Your bowling pick.
My bowling. No, I don't have to go first now. All the
Okay,
time.
so Wasim, your bowling.
I'll play fair.
I'm going to go Chahal.
Looks like Tom wanted that. So Tom,
Yes,
your
he was
bowler
mine, but that's fine. Sharing is caring. I'm going to go for Bolt.
bowled for Tom, and that leaves your bowling pick.
You know what?
Which is
Since we've brought up the unsung hero, Sandeep Sharma, but given that they'll only give him 2 overs at the death, I can't pick him. So I'm going to go for Kuldeep Yadav.
all right. Kuldeep Yadav. So now we go to the wild card pick, and Tom, it's you first.
I'm going to go for Butler.
Josh Butler. I thought that was coming. Raunak.
Man, I dared you all not to take Jaiswal and Butler. And you all,
Yeah, so you can pick them.
the Warner's not been taken, right?
No.
Okay,
Warner yet.
I'll go David Warner.
David Warner for Raunak, and Wasim.
I'm going to go Rian Parag.
Oh,
Rian Parag.
Oh, okay.
Got his promotion at number 4, fared well, made 43. There were some fears that he might be down with the flu, but he is part of the Rajasthan 11. All right then, wish you well. Your first go for the impact zone. Let's see.
they
Tom
weren't
has been
brave enough to just, not pick 2 players that I requested them to pick. You'd think they'd be better than this, but
if
they're not.
if
This is not your game, okay?
Yeah,
This is
and-
our game.
and if normal service continues, Tom, at the end of the day, if you were to notch another trophy in your name, I will allow you to reply however you wish to all that. that's gone on in this show. That will be all for the time being. Rajasthan have already begun their innings. Quick round of predictions. What scores are we looking at?
And the outrageous one as well. You want me to go first? Stop looking at me, both of you.
Please.
Every time he finishes a question, both of you look at me like I'm supposed to go
Well,
first.
this is your moment. You know,
If I
You're in a new
say
sync.
the most intelligent thing, that puts both of you in a really uncomfortable place.
I'd like you to try to be intelligent. Just give us one intelligent comment. What's the score?
192.
192. And outrageous, please.
And the
Sorry,
outrage-
Yash, I'm just taking
No,
over
no,
the
Yeah,
hosting here.
please do. Yeah, and the outrageous thing I'll say is Kuldeep Yadav to go at less than 4 and over. It's outrageous. 192, but Kuldeep will go at 4 or less.
Okay.
I'm going to go 180, 181 to be precise, and
You added one. Just
Yashasvi to get 100, an outrageous one. First 100 of the IPL.
Well, you have 163. Low balling again.
yeah, of course you are.
And I'm going to go for Mitch Marsh hitting 4 or more sixes.
Is out.
Oh, sorry. That random
4 more
reaction was because
sixes.
Jaiswal almost got out. Yeah.
4 or more sixes from Mitch Marsh is your outrageous prediction. All right, fine. That's a lot of predictions in, and that's a lot of time taken by all of us. Well done. I quite enjoyed the fact, for all the pressure I thought I'd be put under with responsibility and whatnot, the amount of time you guys have managed to handle the talk just by yourselves, this is quite easy. Thank you. It was
Anytime, Yash.
a fun start.
Anytime.
All right, that does it from us. Download the ESPN Cricket 4 mobile app if you haven't already, and follow the game. All these predictions, who gets close, the forecaster will give you an idea as to which way Rajasthan's total is expected to go. And be sure to join us at halftime. We'll be back then on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket 4 Timeout.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the Citybird SUV.